All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the call. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being on the call. I know that you guys can be doing anything else. I know that it's pretty late in the East Coast as well, so I definitely appreciate your time. I won't take too much of your time because I understand that time is one of the most valuable and most precious commodities on this planet. So I wanted to just introduce a little bit of the topic of what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to be giving out a book giveaway, and the book that I'm going to be giving out is How to Win Friends and Influence Others. So that's the book that I'm going to be giving out. Um, it's already in the mail, so I'm just going to mail it out to the winner. And the winner is actually in this box. So I still haven't even seen the names or anything. Amanda did all that, so that's pretty cool. So I left that be alone. Um, I will use alternative words. That's one thing that I want to talk about today. Alternative words, in your speech, when you go sell something, when you go sell yourself, when you go listen to other people's conversation, you want to be mirroring their conversation more than coming up with your own words or your own ideas. You want to more mirror what they have to say. And that's why I'm going to be really happy for the winner that wins this book, because it's going to help you connect with other people. It's helped me tremendously. It's one of the first books that I ever got in my career. So I thought that I'd share that with you guys, just because I'm like, oh my God, that book's going to be so powerful. It's going to be something that you guys are going to be able to read over and over and over and over for the course of the next months. And that's something that I would recommend for you guys to do. Just read it over. If you guys read it fast, read it over and engrave it. Engrave these principles. It's something that I want you guys to focus on this week is the power of gratitude and proper reflection. Give you time to do that. That way you can understand what it is that you need to do. So every morning, what I do is I like to wake up and just take guidance for the day before I get on a call. I just like to, get on and just really clear my mind, think blank, just let God just operate and do his thing, because at the end of the day, I don't need to be limiting God to what he can do first thing in the morning. Because they say, and scientifically, they say that the first 5 minutes of when you wake up from your sleep are the most powerful minutes of your brain, your imagination. So at that point, your brain's operating at its most powerful, state for creativity. So that's when you want to be using that time to cultivate good thoughts of where you want to be, where you see yourself that day, where you see yourself in your business. How does it that day is going to add to what you see yourself being long term. So those things are very important to do every single day, because obviously you don't have enough time to do it all in one day. But if you break it up into chunks of days and then just master that through the course of I want to say 5 years, you can actually make a profession out of network marketing, out of trading, out of whatever it is that you want to do. Because it's for instance, if I were to tell you guys what lawyers and doctors do for 8 years, they do the same thing that I'm doing right now. They do the same thing that you guys are doing right now. They take about 6 to 8 years to actually get paid for what they go to school for. The same thing in network marketing. It takes a while to actually know personalities and to get people on the call, to have the courage to say, hey, I'm going to record this video, and I know it's going to be on YouTube, and I know that people are going to want to listen to this later on, because I know that this is something that I'm documenting for myself to get better and for others to receive as well, because I know that the littlest thing that I can share with you guys that you guys can take from this video, you guys are able to apply it in your days and are able to become that much more successful in your business. So today I want to talk about the valley to victory. Okay, so understand there's always a valley to victory. And for the people that don't know me, my name's Isaiah. I forgot to introduce myself. I just got into the call because I was really excited about, talking to our teammates and getting to know about their day and stuff. So for the people that are watching me on the replay, my name is Isaiah. I live in Denver currently, but that changes from time to time because of what I do. I love doing what I do, and I do it at different parts of the United States so far. We're looking into different places, and we're looking for a long-term goal. I know that some of the teammates that are not on this call right now, I know Brittany is one of the teammates that I'm talking about. She wanted to do a 5-year goal of doing something outside of the country. So what I can say, guys, is have your passports ready, because you never know. When I can be saying hey guys, meet me in Puerto Rico, or meet me in Chile, just because I want to be there, because the property's super cheap, one. and you trade Forex. So you can be anywhere you want, right? So at the end of the day, have your passports ready, because that's something my mentor taught me. Chris Derrick, if you guys know who I'm talking about, he taught me that. And I was just like, oh my God, that makes so much sense, because yeah, if like I have to be somewhere and he has to be somewhere, I have to have my passport ready, because they're not just going to let you travel outside of the country if you don't have that stuff ready. I think it takes like 90 days or maybe less to get all that stuff filed out and get all that stuff situated. So that's part of the valley that you get to your victory. See, you get like the waiting time before you get your passport, and then you get your victory in that sequence, right? Because you have to bring that outside of like, the Bible. What does the Bible mean into your everyday life? That way you can combine the two and marry the two and be able to apply it every single day and be able to be in that rhythm, rather than you're trying to do something that is already in you, but you don't know how to bring it out of you. And that's something that I want to share with you guys, because the valley sometimes doesn't look like how we want it to look. The valley sometimes looks like, like you don't know what you're doing exactly. It feels insignificant. It feels invisible. You feel ignorant, because you're like, oh my God, why am I really doing this? Why am I listening to this guy for 20 minutes every Sunday? Well, one, because you're mapping out your week right after this call. Two, this is going to put you in the right vibration. Always, 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 always. Because I see the people that are doing this are winning, because this is just time that you're organizing your brain, and time you're using to feed your mind the right content so that you can start your week the right way. This is something that I've always learned to do in my previous sales jobs and my previous, professions that require a lot of mindset. So I realized that was going to incorporate that in my business, because I'm like, that's what it takes. Because when you're going to work every day and you're getting out of rhythm as far as like trading, or as far as like building like skills like sales, you have to like understand how to pull yourself outside of work and put yourself in that environment. Or if you're like a mom, you have to like understand that your kids are your kids. You have to have that love for your family. But at the end of the day, you have to understand also the sales part. Like you can't be so nice to certain people outside of, your family, because those people don't want to pay you. Those people don't want to see you win. Those people don't want to see themselves win. That's why they don't want to see you win. And that's half the time. That's a lot of the, but I should say not half the time. A lot of the times that's a battle with most people, because they don't see themselves winning. So they're not going to see you winning. They don't see themselves as you like winning, because they're in a valley that they can't, overcome. And you can always share with them positive words of like, encouragement. Always find a way to deflect that vocabulary that they're using if it's aggressive, because at the end of the day, they're just wanting to seek more, but they don't know how to ask. I don't know if you guys have ever been in that position to where you guys are super frustrated. I know that I was when I was first developing my speech, and you wanted to say something and you're like, oh my God, I just would wish this person would get out of my face, because I wish I could say this to him, but he's just in my face and like he's asking me. And I remember this was me a while back with my bosses at work, because I didn't know how to communicate myself the way I do now. So that's something that I thank God for, because it took a lot of time, took a lot of audios. It took a lot of time me doing like the small things, like the stuff that you guys don't see sometimes behind the scenes, like watching a lot of audios at 12 a.m. or at 12, p.m. midday, or just sacrificing the time to be where I was in the previous season, just to be here because of the audio, because of the books that I was reading, because I was like, you know what, I'm going to carry my books, even if I don't, change my clothes. That's where I was last season, and I was like, oh my God, that's something that I could look back on and say, you know what, that's one thing that propelled me to this level, because of those sacrifices. And I'm saying, what sacrifices do you guys have in your life now that you guys are trying to have, removed? I want you guys to think about that. Don't have any of those sacrifices. Don't want to remove any of those sacrifices. Why? Because those sacrifices are going to help you understand the next level. I promise you guys want to stay there as long as possible. Why? Because God is creating a great getaway of blessings. A gateway of blessings, I should say. A getaway, right? A getaway for all your problems. A gateway of blessings. So that's what he's creating for you guys. So that's why you guys want to be in there as much as possible. Don't think about it Don't think about the valley as something that's negative. I want you guys to read Psalms 23, because that's where I've been looking at this scripture today and throughout this week. And I saw that Joel Osteen preached about that today. And I'm like, oh my God, I was looking at that scripture all week, because it doesn't matter what valley you're in. It just matters that God is with you, because you're promising yourself that. You're promising him that. And he's honoring that because God is in you. You are in him. And if you believe that, you're always going to have a spirit of gratitude, and that's always going to lead you into your destiny. And your destiny is what God has prepared for you. He already has that in stone for you. So believe that he has these things in stone, because when you believe, there's a magic sequence that happens in your life. And that's when you start meeting people like you guys. That's when I started meeting wonderful individuals like all you guys that are on this call. So I want to thank you guys for being on this call, and also for the people that are going to watch this on the replay, because I never thought that I could build something like this. But once I started getting into this profession a little bit more, once I started involving myself into God more, once I started involving myself into people more, once I started reading books, once I started taking notes, once I started having everything organized in my life, I realized that everything became one. Everything became a micro action leading to the next action, to the next action, to the next action, to eventually create a long-term macro, which is your big-term picture, which is me saying, hey, look, I wanted to have this year be the year that I bring in 100 students to this business, because I wanted to see that grow, because I wanted to see a lot of people just be in different positions, whether it's they're growing a business, whether it's they're growing their Forex profile. I wanted to help people understand that I can do a lot of those things. And, you guys can be the same person and be able to bring other people in and also be paid for that same effort. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get paid, as long as you give enough effort and enough, consistent value that other people can use and say, you know what, I can take one thing from this call and say, you know what, I'm going to apply this to my week, because that's what I want you guys to do. Don't apply everything that I'm saying, because I'm saying a lot sometimes. Apply one or two things, because those are the things that are going to help you master your story. And then essentially you're going to be able to be someone like myself, someone like Alex, someone like Bob, someone like, like yourself, that's going to be speaking a lot. And you're going to be sharing this content, because you're going to realize, you know what, that's what people need. As much as I thought that, they need a certain kind of, literature, or a certain kind of like way of being, or a certain kind of like, format of information. No, all they need is just somebody's story to where they can say, you know what, I can do that at some point in my life. And that's what I want to help you guys understand on Sunday nights, because I know that when you guys get into trading, that's like being in the NBA. You're going up against professionals. You're going up against really good banks. So you want to make sure that you do all your studying prior to you going into the trading weeks. And I know that some of the students that are on this call, you guys have been sharing with me your profits. You guys have been sharing with me your results, your charts. So I'm excited for that, because I know that the timing is there and God is helping you guys get through those valleys so you guys can go to higher places. That's the whole point of the valley. That's why God takes you to that valley, so that he can take you to that higher place. God is bigger than your own circumstances, okay? God is bigger than anything that you can ever imagine. So don't ever limit God to your circumstance. Don't ever limit God to have however much money you have in your bank account right now. Don't ever limit God to whatever circumstances you're going through right now. When you push through with a great attitude, God honors that gateway of blessings that he has for you. So understand that your attitude is going to be the most important thing. So when you're going through really crappy situations, understand, hey, look, I better just have a good attitude. I better just get on with it. Don't believe this. So don't believe lies. Don't believe lies that say, for instance, I can't do this. Why not? Always ask yourself, why can't I do this? What stops me from doing that? Okay, I can't do that because I probably haven't done enough audios on my own. If you're trying to do videos like these, if you're watching this on, your device right now, or if you're watching this on the replay as well, if I can't do videos, why can't I do videos? I probably haven't done enough videos to where I don't feel comfortable enough talking to the camera. I feel like I get nervous. You get nervous because you haven't done it enough. It's like playing basketball, I promise you. Like, it's like if I don't take enough jump shots, I'm never going to make my shots consistently. I might make one or two, which is like something that I've seen people do in trading, and I've seen myself go through that experience as well. Because what I've seen is, you get lucky. Sometimes you plug in a trade, you get lucky. And then like once you actually start doing this for a living, you start seeing, oh my God, like this is actually harder than I thought. Okay, so how do I start? You start by breaking everything down. Promise you, just break everything down. Keep track of your thoughts, keep sticky notes, organize them, shuffle them, clean them. Keep track of what you teach. Keep track of what you want to see. Why? Because all that stuff you get to keep, and that's a law. And I promise you that all these laws we have in our life and we have in our bodies, we just have to bring them out, write about them. The law of attraction, right? That's one of them that you guys know about, right? The law of compensation, where it demands an action, it demands you working, and that's how you get compensated. So if you provide a lot of value, you're going to get compensated. And you have to provide more value than the person giving you the energy, right? The person giving you the energy is providing a service that they want to provide later to other people, so they want to learn from you. So that's why you want to always speak wealthy thoughts, and you always want to live out those wealthy thoughts. So always start picturing them in your mind, and early in the morning, you want to start seeing these thoughts. You want to start seeing, okay, like, you know what does my house look like? What does my family look like? How do like my kids look like when they're 10, 15, 20? You know, what do I want to see out of my life when I'm 65? Where do I want to be? You know, it's okay to be in that mindset because you already know how to do the everyday duties, right? You already know how to go to work. You already know how to tie your shoes. You already know how to eat. You already know how to dress. So don't focus so much on those things. Just do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Those things are simple. Organize and plan the things that are invisible, because those are the things, like I was speaking a little bit about right now on the laws, that are manifesting into visible things. The law of perpetual transmutation. Everything invisible is translating into the visible. Everything. The thoughts, right? Like this rock that I never had. It came from the ocean in California, which has a story of its own, right? Speak words of faith, words of life, words of victory. Speak words of faith, words of life, words of victory. Don't ever speak words of defeat. That way you don't see that in your life. Doesn't matter what you're going through. Speak words of life. Don't expect people to celebrate you, because it's difficult when people are going through stuff and they don't understand your level of thinking. They might think of you trying to one up them. They might think that you're trying to be better than them. And that's not the case. You're just at a different level of thinking. But they won't understand that. So just believe in your God and believe in what he has you here for. Okay? I am wealthy, I am healthy, and I am successful. Repeat that 10 times throughout your week this week. I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am successful. I am wealthy, I am healthy, and I am successful. Because wealth comes in so many different ways. Listening, speaking, doing, receiving, attracting, believing that you can have more in your bank account. That's also a form. There's so many forms of wealth. Understand how to understand those things and see them for yourselves every day. So the rabbits that you guys go see outside, or the birds you see, or the hawks or the eagles, because I promise you guys, if you guys are in line with the universe and with nature, nature is going to speak back to you. It's going to be in line with you. Like I'd spoken with you guys, just to wrap it up, Psalms 23 is something that I would love for you guys to engrave in your hearts, because on the other side of the valley, there is abundance. That's the whole point of this. At the other side of your valley, there is abundance. Understand that you're going through these things for someone else, so that you can also be in a good position, and so they can be in a good position. You're lifting each other up with your story, and always understand that if you limit your story, somebody does not hear about your story, and somebody potentially, does not hear about it, and they go on living a lifetime of regret, remorse, and just things that they could have avoided if you'd have just shared your story. Just however, if you would have just opened up, and just trusted God and your abundance that's already in you, because God creates all those gateways that you need, like that person that's going to come into your business, that person that is there for you right now. He created that person. That was a gateway from God. And that's something that he's always going to keep creating. That's something that you can always count on, because God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So even when you go into the markets this week, understand that God himself doesn't trade, you trade. If you put your prior preparation, he will always help you perform at a peak level. Okay? and give a story of abundance and overflow to everybody that you meet this week, okay? Give a story of abundance and overflow. You have something great in you. You have something great that you can speak to someone. That you have something great you can speak over someone's life. Believe it in faith, because when you start believing for others, you'll start seeing amazing things happen for you. And that's something that I can vouch for in my own personal life. So I appreciate you guys for taking the time tonight to watch this video. Create a spirit of gratitude always, and God will always bless what you do. Create a spirit of gratitude, and God will always bless what you do. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and stop right there for the notes and for the personal development. Hopefully you guys were able to enjoy that. I'm going to go ahead and draw the name in this box. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I'm not going to look at it. Here, can you hold this?
Yes.
Hopefully you guys are having a good Sunday. It would be Yennefer. You have a little heart. It would be you. Send us your address. That way we can send it to you. Just text me after, okay? And then thank you guys for being on the call. If you guys found value in this call, I want to have you guys just share it on your page whenever you guys can. I'm going to keep these calls short to about 20 minutes, a little bit over that on Sundays, just to map out people's week. Get them in the habit of actually mapping out their game plans, mapping out their life. If they don't know how to do that, they can schedule something with me, and I can go ahead and start organizing their steps step by step as much as I can, obviously, because everything is also progressive into the other person putting in their part. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and thank you guys again for watching on a Sunday night. I know that you guys could have been doing anything else, but you guys were here tonight. And for the people watching on the replay, I appreciate you guys for watching all the way to the end. God bless you guys and take care, okay? Love you guys.